under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. Amy, are we live now?
Yep,
Okay. What do you have for us first, Amy?
minutes from last meeting.
Okay. Do I have a motion on the minutes as presented? Got a motion?
I'm going to abstain because I was not here.
Okay. Can I second them, Terry?
Yes.
Okay, I'll second those. All in favor? Okay.
Got a payroll register.
Okay, got a payroll register.
Make a motion.
Motion and second, all in favor?
Claims packet.
Couple of claims that I talked to Amy about last night that I want to table for now. One of them is our Corsica claim because the service is not being rendered. Terry, can I do that?
I'm sorry, repeat that question.
Our Corsica, we're having trouble with them. We've got a claim in here to pay them. Can we hold payment until we're satisfied with?
Which claim is that?
There was two of them in there, wasn't, well, for all the monthly services.
So basically, you want to table it?
Corsica.
Is that where you're
I
at?
understand that. There was one that they have and
For the
cameras.
monthly,
For the monthly
for
payment.
the monthly
okay.
payments. There was some stuff in there. Did you have some stuff for equipment too?
Mm-hmm,
Did
for the
you-
new camera, when they installed the new security
Okay.
cameras and,
Okay, do I need to put a hold on that too?
no, that's been taken care of.
Okay, okay. Well,
So
the
you
mon-
want to table it then? Is that
I'd
where
like to
you're at?
table
I
that
think you
until we can get some stuff
Yeah, I
taken
think
care
you
of.
can.
Okay, and then there was another one on the airport grant that I'd like to table that until we can take a closer look at the paperwork. Okay. You guys good with that?
Make a motion, we go with those recommendations.
Okay. Motion second, all in favor? What else, Amy?
I have a FMLA here.
Okay. Have a motion on signing this? Okay, a motion,
I'll
second?
second.
Okay, all in favor?
Here's that updated letter with the names spelled correctly for the, interest for the, community corrections.
Oh, okay, so we just need to re-sign this letter?
Yeah,
Okay, you want any motion on it?
if you wanna redo it, it's fine.
Yeah, go ahead.
Motion to re-sign this letter for community corrections interest?
I'll make a motion.
Okay, second? You wanna explain, because I think this happened last month when Brian went last.
State Board of Accounts told them they can either put it in their bank account or county general, what the interest that the community corrections earns on their bank account.
And it amounts to,
It's like $5 or $6 a year.
And it's going to go back into community corrections.
It's gonna go back to the community corrections, and that's just a letter stating that.
Okay. I'll make, second that motion.
okay, we got a motion, a second, all in favor? Okay. What else, Amy?
Then, that letter about the zoning,
Yes, and I think you and I had some talk about this, and you had some concerns. You wanna voice your concerns?
Yeah, I added a provision that, also that they would sign a hold harmless, et cetera, and added some language, and Rick said they were adding that to the letter. I haven't seen this letter.
well, this, I haven't got, so if you did that, I didn't get an updated
Is
letter.
this the one from JBL or from,
JBL, yes.
okay, maybe you're thinking about a different one, Terry.
Yeah, let me see.
Brett here this morning? Let's see Brett here this morning.
Yeah, this one I'm okay with.
Okay, okay.
It's a fact, so it's basically stating we don't have any zoning, so.
You should have had that in email maybe.
Mhm.
Can you read that?
Yep.
Okay. John?
No.
Okay, motion to sign this,
I'll make a motion.
a second?
I'll second.
Motion second, all in favor?
And then a letter of, support for, looks like the Linton Water Utility.
Yeah, did you see this, Brent?
Yeah.
Okay, because I think you commented on actually
Yes.
didn't you? John, did you see this?
Yeah.
Okay. Any discussion or concern or anything?
I think it's a great expansion if we can get it.
I'll entertain the motion.
I'll make a motion.
I'll say it.
Okay, motion is second, all in favor? Okay.
Did you see the email I sent you from First Financial?
Just all that, tell me what it was about.
Kind of like a workplace rewards. Anybody who has a banking account has at first now and is an accounting employee, they get like an extra incentive.
Okay.
There's some.
Do we have to elect to be involved in that, or is that just something they
No,
offer to the employees?
Just offer to the employees, yeah, because there's such a good relationship between the county and First Financial, just something they wanted to offer to county employees.
Okay, okay. And I assume that all the county employees have been apprised of this, the ones that have accounts there, or
No, they've
all
not
of
been
them?
informed until you guys decide yes or no.
Any thoughts, concerns, questions?
I mean, I'm good with it as long as,
So we don't have to do anything
Yeah.
with it, it doesn't concern us other than letting them do it, right?
Correct, just let them. So
Let them
there's-
notify.
Okay,
I'll make a motion to have Amy notify First Financial.
okay. Got a motion,
Say it.
second? Okay, we just have a single signature on this, is that what you see, Amy? Okay, you want to amend your motion a little bit?
I'll amend my motion to have Bob sign it, Mr. President.
Motion is second, all in favor? Okay.
Yeah, I have some bonds here.
Amy, are you gonna put up Sullivan County, you wanna fill the business name and all that stuff in? Okay, and you put your email address,
Okay,
or do you want me to put mine?
I can
I don't
put
care, I
mine.
just wanna know what you want to put in.
No, I'll put mine, it's fine. Couple added in there from last time. Last time John didn't sign them all.
That's one signature, sorry.
All right,
Okay, you got bonds?
Yeah, last time you signed, John didn't sign them all. And there's a couple new added in there, so I just need them
Okay. And
re-signed.
since Brant's here, he can sign too. Motion to sign these bonds?
make a motion.
Second. All in favor? Okay. I've already signed them all, we can sign these as we go.
No, there might be one down there, the very back. And then I have this letter here from Edge IT.
Okay. I'll sign the rest of them.
This is the one that I reviewed, and I had a couple issues with some of the language in there.
Yeah, I thought I saw somebody with
Yeah. Brendan Bratcher, I'm operations manager for Edge IT on behalf of Ryan. I know that you guys have spoke. Over the weekend, he sent the terms and conditions for basically as-needed contract on the intern to help with immediate needs and also for your guys' request, some new reviews and support to do that as well.
Okay.
I did hear that he had some issues with the verbiage, so, I guess as far as that goes, my recommendation would be to, if we can kind of redline pin, with the issues, I'm assuming with the terms and conditions, and get that back with us. I can get that to Ryan Edgel, the owner, and our lawyer, and see if we can kind of come to, an agreement there.
And to kind of explain to everybody what's going on, we're having trouble with our current IT cybersecurity people. And we're talking to Ryan years ago and through conversations, you know, having, you know, bouncing things off of him. He said, how about if I give you guys a T&M price so that I can help you get through things, because we're worried about taxes and primary election coming up, only 2 months away. We need to get these things taken care of and make sure we have IT and support and cybersecurity support. So that's why I asked him to do this, and Amy had some questions about getting some computers. We've had trouble getting computers through our current provider. So I wanted to do this and get you guys an option to look at to see if you guys are interested in doing this.
Yeah.
Now, when we make a contract with these, if we make a contract with these guys, are we gonna do the whole county, or is each entity gonna have a different?
Well, one of the things about this, the health department's already using this company, the sheriff's department is already using this company, And from talking to Ryan, there may be some economy of scale there that may help all of us. And we'll try to get all of the county entities on the same, because we tried to encompass everybody last time. There was a couple of them that escaped, well, mainly because they already had their own and they didn't want to switch over what we had. So, I'm gonna say yes, we're gonna try everything we can to get everybody on the same.
That's what I'd like to
Yeah,
see.
that's my goal,
Just
yeah.
make it one bill and then divvy it up to everybody,
Right,
or one big contract.
right. Kinda like we're doing with trying to work through on the phone service.
Yeah.
Or the internet service. So, wanted to put this before you guys so you guys could look at it and think about it. If we need to, make a decision based on, getting things taken care of between the lawyers, we can, or if you would rather wait until you get things taken care of, in a special session to approve this. Terry, what's your recommendation?
I don't know how critical it is. I mean, we could approve it subject to myself and the lawyer, getting the language. Basically, my biggest problem is the limitation of liability. It's got very strict limitation of liability as far as it goes to them, but then it allows, on our side, we could be sued for basically anything and everything.
Right.
So I think it's good. The only fair thing is it's either equal or we modify their limitation of liability.
Okay.
One of the two. And I always like in these contracts, there'd be language that instead of I understand the limitation of liability, but, I like the language to state that it'll be in the amount of their insurance liability or whatever. They always want to say different things, like it's limited to the amount you're paying on the contract, you can't sue for any of these things and all that, which, all I'm saying is that we need to make it fair both ways then, if we're gonna have that language in there.
And that's one of the things that usually comes up in our contracts, and that's one of the things that you've always worked on, and usually you've been able to work out
Right.
something to work out. So, whatever you guys think. If you guys wanna wait on Terry to get it worked out, or you wanna approve it based on Terry's. And the reason I'm saying this is I'm looking at timing, knowing that there's gonna be a lot of work for the clerk's office, that we wanna make sure it's done before election time. Tax time's coming up for the treasurer's office too, and make sure all these things are big, important things that are gonna be coming up that need to be taken care of. So,
I'll just make a motion till Terry signs, approves it, and signs it.
okay.
Well, obviously, what I would do is, if we get an agreement on some of the language, I'll send it to you guys before, anything officially, we say we're done or whatever, we agree.
We
So-
can agree to sign it after you get that done. We won't sign it yet,
Right,
because if we agree here, then we can individually catch up and sign it.
right.
Okay.
Now, hold on your motion
Yeah,
before
Yeah,
you
that's
go.
why I wanna see what you say.
So, with the treasurer's office right now, I know you're in dire need of computers and everything. Your system's pretty much on the verge of failure.
Yes, and it already we can't get Word or Excel on any computer right now.
And we have quotes right here for right now, which for 9 computers, 9 display adapters, the setup and configuration of new computers, there was a quote of $9,000, plus installing all the Microsoft stuff that you need in Excel and all that good stuff for another $1,300 on top of that.
Now, question I have on that one, installing the Microsoft and Excel, is that courthouse wide, or is that just in the treasurer's?
Just the treasurers.
Okay.
That's specific to that,
Okay.
that request.
Because that's one of the ones that we've gotta have
Yeah.
everywhere, and I think that's why Brent brought that up.
Okay.
But with that failing now, I think we need to proceed getting this fixed before tax time comes, we're 2 months out. And who's to say there's not gonna be issues between now and then as
Or it's
well?
already starting.
Well, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying,
It's already started.
and we can't go into complete failure at a county level,
Right.
because that's gonna put a lot of stress on her, and, we gotta have the programs to be able to operate this stuff.
And do we have any kind of guarantee on our delivery times on these computers?
The only thing that I would say, and I'm not trying to push anybody any direction, is that with computers right now, the shortages on RAM and solid state drives because of the massive AI drive, it's insane. Prices of computers are going up, stock's going down, everybody's buying all this equipment right now. They're worried about shortages, so as of right now, that stuff is in stock, but we've put our expiration times on our quotes shorter and shorter.
Okay.
You'll see in our wording there, the verbiage mentions that With all of this AI drive and craze, there are massive shortages and price hikes, so, just because that quote's valid there, if you look at that expiration date, that's how good we have it. It's in stock. As of right now, we should be able to get that, but stuff is changing quickly right now with PCs and hardware.
So
And
is
it's up to you guys, I mean, how urgent this is and whether you need to approve this. The language that I'm arguing about is like worst-case scenario language. So I mean, I'm just saying, it's not something that I would jump up and down and say, definitely don't sign this if we don't get it changed. But it's things that's to our benefit, I think, to get changed in the long run if something bad would happen. That's kind of where I'm
And
at.
we can separate these two and
I-
approve
That's what I
one,
would.
Yeah,
Yeah.
approve the computers.
Yeah.
approve the computers, and then go back and.
Because there's a
work on
one-year
contract.
warranty, on-site warranty for all these computers anyways.
Yeah.
So,
Our on-site man had a question
If you
too.
don't mind, if I add, if the goal is to transition, you might wanna put the current comp vendor on notice, like a 90-day or whatever, because each office head has been working with them independently, and I don't know what's on order as far as equipment goes. So you're gonna wanna put them on notice so you don't have an order.
And that's one of our things, that's one of my things on my,
Because if they've already got an order that's in process, we will get stuff with that.
Yeah.
You know, and now we have two.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Appreciate that, Chris.
I think that's a good idea, Brand, if you want to approve just the purchase of those things, and then we'll still talk about the contract part.
yeah, I think that's the way we need to go
Yeah.
right now.
So you wanna make a motion on the,
So I'll make a motion that we table the contract, but I would make a motion to, proceed with the purchasing of equipment and the Microsoft Office Home, stuff like that.
for the?
For the,
treas-
for the
treasurer?
treasurer's office,
Okay.
yes.
Okay. We got a motion and a second? Got a motion and a second, all in favor? Okay, so we can go ahead and work on getting the computers for the treasurer's office, and then we're gonna work on this. We may have to have a special session to approve the contract after Terry and you guys get together.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm available this week if the lawyer can get a hold of me, or we can discuss it this week, so we
Yeah,
can do this pretty
right
quick.
After this, I'll follow up with Ryan Agile, the owner.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll let him know what we discussed in this meeting, and then obviously we've got your email address, so I'm assuming we can
Yeah,
exchange contact information that way and
yep,
try to push things forward, so. Yeah, and just a reminder, this is our time and material, use this as you need us.
Right.
Not our managed service agreement or anything like that,
Right.
just kind of like a.
Well, I think we're gonna need to use this too because of the experience we've been having in the last several months with our current provider, so,
Okay, all right, I appreciate it, guys.
thank you. Amy, what else?
Then I have the snowplow escort and the comp time for highway.
The comp time, I think everybody has read through that. Any comments, concerns? We ready to move forward on that one? Okay, I have a motion.
I'll make a motion to accept it.
Okay, I have a motion, do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, a motion and a second, all in favor? And this is for paying out comp time for snow removal only to highway employees only. And then we have another one in front of us that, for snowplow escort during significant snowfall events, and that's just been presented to us. So I think we all want to, I'll speak for myself on this. What you guys, you wanna read over this some more and look at it, make sure we got everything ready to go?
Or do you wanna just table it till next meeting? so
That's
we
what I'm
can-
saying, do we
yeah.
wanna table it to the next meeting?
I would table it to the next meeting so we can thoroughly go through it, make sure we're getting everything.
Is that your motion?
That's my motion.
Okay, second? Okay, all in favor? Okay, so we're gonna table this until next meeting, Terry. Okay. What else, Amy?
What about that capital asset policy procedure manual? About the last meeting, anybody read up on it? No.
Is there any concerns on it? I've scanned through it, it's just a lot, there's a lot there. Did you share that with Terry? Any concerns?
Terry's the one who made it.
I know. So I mean, is there any concerns on that? We gotta get this capital asset. State Board of Accounts has been dinging us on it. Have you read through it yet?
Yeah, I've read through it. I mean,
As far as I understand it, it's a different story, right?
yeah, it's,
It's just the first step you gotta take.
it's a big
As
headache.
as
is
Jerry
what it
even
is.
told you,
It
it's
is,
the,
but-
Right.
It's a big headache is
Yeah.
what it is,
Yeah.
but,
It is,
I mean, we
yeah.
gotta get it done, so.
Right. Any,
I make a motion that we can
Move
proceed
forward.
with it, move forward with it, yes.
okay, you got a motion and a second, all in favor? Okay.
Now, have we I listened to the last meeting when this was brought up. Did you ever get a hold of that company that can help with that? And,
I talked to Baker Tilly about it, and in their opinion, it's more involved than they can handle.
okay,
And they gave a recommendation to me about another company that their clients use that they all think good things about. And so I've got to get with them now.
So you haven't contacted them?
I haven't contacted them yet, but I've got to get to the company Baker Tilly recommended, because Baker Tilly is not set up to do this kind of things.
okay.
okay, and lastly, the 911 interviews.
Yes, we need to schedule an executive session so that we can, do you have copies for us so that we can review before our
I didn't bring
executive?
them with me, I
Okay.
will send them to you.
We can get copies of those and then find out when we can have an executive session.
I'm available next Monday.
Let me look here and see. See if I've got,
I'm leaving Sunday, so if you want me there,
could you be there by phone? Is that
I can
possible?
try to, yeah.
Okay. Next Monday is the 9th, correct?
Yes.
What, would you want to do that in the morning?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. I'm good in the morning, that's the only thing I've got going in the morning. John?
Fine.
Amy? Monday morning, not good for you? What's your thought then?
Well, I mean, I'm not doing hiring, so I mean, do you need me?
Do you
I can
need-
just give you the information that you need for the
Because all we
insurance
need to do is
retirement.
discuss it amongst ourselves and see
Correct.
what we want to do, so, okay.
Yeah.
I can be available Monday morning,
Okay,
Nine.
nine?
I can,
Okay, you want to do this Monday morning?
or I can
at
be
9?
available later if you need me to,
You
whatever.
guys tell me.
I'll make a motion.
Okay, I got a motion for 9.
Nine, I'm gonna second that.
Second, a motion for 9, a second, also, all in favor? Okay, so that's an executive session. Now, here's something else I'm thinking about. If we get, the language for, Edge taken care of between now and then, we can advertise for a regular session after, and we can approve that. So why don't we just go ahead and advertise for both? And if we don't get it done, then we don't have to have a session. Does that work with you guys?
That works with me.
Okay. Okay. Anything else, Amy?
Nope.
Okay.
You want me to do, we had 2 applicants. Are you guys just gonna review those, or are you gonna do interviews that day?
Well, we want a chance to review them amongst ourselves, get copies from you, and then we're gonna discuss it during the executive session. If we have to
Okay.
have another executive session to interview, we will.
Okay, all right, that's what I wanna make clear.
Okay.
That's it, I'm done.
All right. Thank you, Amy. Jerry, what do you have for us this morning?
Well, most of it I think we'll cover later in, when you're discussing all the proposed developments. However, a couple things I'd like to call out. I think you guys have seen, based on the issues we discovered in dealing with the very first solar developments with our gravel roads and them holding up through the winter,
Mhm.
I've written a spec for soil stabilization, limestone or actually Portland cement stabilization for gravel roads in advance. I think you guys have all seen it.
Mhm.
I have.
So, everybody's okay with that? My intent is also to add that to our current requirements for coal company road replacements and putting them under those roads also. Because we've seen how those have been holding up, especially in Johnson.
Well, we've had to go back and do some of that in the past, too.
Yeah. So, also with the rise in prices and the bond increases we've discussed, I think those are worked into the agreements now.
Mhm.
I'm gonna also insert those into the coal. I'll be presenting you with a whole new revamped ordinance for the coal company stuff. like you guys requested.
So it's been discussed.
But both of those things I think should go in there if you guys are all right with that.
Okay.
But already talked about the other highway stuff. The only other thing I wanted to discuss generically is based on our first experience, the first solar. They came out to do some geotech work and damage some pavement. And they did this before the road use agreement was in place. So we started requiring these companies, if they had preliminary work, to get a road use agreement in place before, because a lot of times it was before all the information was available to get the entire road use agreement finalized. So we started covering with our typical hold harmless agreements that Terry prepares. We started out with that being for geotech. Well, now we have companies wanting to do land clearing, tiling, draining, whatever on site. I guess my only concern is I want to talk to you guys about scope creep on these hold harmlesses. Where do we want to draw the line and what's preliminary, waiting on the road use agreement, and what can be covered under the hold harmless agreement. We still make them call out the roads and bond the roads, just like they would under the road use agreement. But I just want to discuss where the line is that we can cover under hold harmless versus the road use.
What's your thoughts on that, guys? I mean, Terry, have you any thoughts on that too?
Well, I was on the phone with Rick Hall for about 45 minutes Saturday. And I think that's something we should discuss more, because he thinks that in some cases, there's more teeth if we put more stuff in the road use agreement rather than having it in the hold harmless. But I told him that's something we probably all need to discuss some. He recommended that at some point we try to schedule an executive session to discuss a couple of these projects and to talk maybe some about that also.
And Jerry and I have experienced in the last 2 weeks, a project going on where he hadn't even got the hold harmless back from you yet, and they've already done the work and made a muddy mess on the road and didn't clean it up. And it was a concern Jerry and I had, and we haven't even signed that hold harmless yet. So,
And we haven't signed the hold harmless yet, and now apparently the road use agreement is done. Now, I don't know what phases they're talking about, but just like some of the emails back and forth, sometimes one person's talking about a hold harmless and another one's talking about a road use agreement, and the comments don't always
we've gotten confused on that.
translate.
Yep.
Yeah, so I just think we need to clarify that.
And right now, we have so many projects going on too, and then we've had an entity or two that's sold or changed their name, and so it's hard to keep track of which one we're all dealing with. And Rick told me he's got that same problem. He said that he has to really go look at all these each time, because we're all getting separate emails and different stuff. I mean, it's, caused a lot of chaos right now. So I do think it's a good idea to maybe have an executive session to try to smooth this out a little bit of how we're gonna deal with some of this stuff.
Gotta be careful about setting up an executive session, that'd be mean bad weather.
Yeah.
Do we need to think about figuring that out now, or do you wanna get a hold of Rick and find out when he's available first?
Yeah, I think it would be smart for me to get a hold of
Because
him.
he's probably gonna be, him and you are gonna be the ones.
Yeah,
that are gonna
because
be
he was
hardest to
telling
get
me
with.
about some part of his duties for the law firm now have changed, and he's got a bunch of other things. And that's why Hannah's been more involved some with us
Okay.
lately too. So his schedule's not very good right now.
Okay.
And then the other issue is that we need a central location to track these things. For example, Brant, you called me about some work going on up, was it 450?
Yeah, out West
Yeah.
Washington Street, yeah.
So that was one that was discussed in 21 or 22, and they signed a road use agreement. I called Deanne to try to figure out if they posted a bond. She didn't know. I mean, we need to be able to track these things.
I agree.
Every and every road use agreement, when do they post the bond? They're called out, well, when the substantial work starts. Well, when is that? Well, I think we need to narrow down when are the bonds gonna be posted and make sure they're posted before any work is started unless it's covered under hold harmless, depending on where we fall on that.
Yeah.
And that doesn't always work out too, as we saw the geotech work up in my district.
Yeah.
That's the reason why they're all LLCs. I mean,
Jerry, are you the one that checks to see how it's progressing and what they're doing and whether they're following the hold harmless and that kind of thing, or is there anybody specified who
Only the
does it?
only the road stuff. You know, I've never been involved in the EDAs or the decommissioning agreements or whatever, so.
Right.
Where they're posting those bonds, where they're filing them, I don't know. It's the road use agreement is what I get involved.
And Brant, the committee that you talked about putting together, would that be smart to maybe include those responsibilities in that committee also? That oversight, basically an oversight committee to make sure, because Jerry and I had this conversation, where are they posting these bonds, you know? We need to know that information. I'm sure it's out there somewhere because we get proof of it, you know, email, but not
I
seen it.
didn't find nothing.
Yeah,
I mean, maybe in some of these agreements, we need to put in there that they agree to meet with us annually, semi-annual, or whatever, to get updates and for us to know.
to review those, yeah.
I mean, and that keeps it on our plate too, as far as, you know, because I know we got so many going right now, that they have a duty to get a hold of us and meet with us at a certain time during the projects to bring us up to date on everything.
Are they following up on the LLCs when they're changing their name of the company on the decommissioning? How's that gonna affect the marketing on that?
Well,
if this
usually,
change
I mean, the one we've got now, we have changed, I mean, Patrick, you can probably allude to this in the process of your name change on yours. We're actually working through that right now, correct?
Yeah, that's right, so our agreements are updating the name of the company that is responsible for posting the bonds.
We're currently working through that on one project that has changed names, so. What else, Jerry?
Only other thing I will say is, you know, we had some issues with some locations of drive entrances on a couple of the prior projects. And to their credit, we asked them to move them and they did.
Mhm.
However, I think it's good. I actually went out with Patrick and we looked at every drive location last week and made some minor adjustments, nothing major, just based on some site distances or that sort of thing. And so I think hopefully we won't have that issue in the future, but that's a good thing to require, that we have to visually inspect the location before they put them in.
And I think there's language in,
Yeah, there
language
is
in there
now,
that talks
yeah.
about that, yeah.
I think, I don't know, maybe you're gonna look at those in your district today, right, Brad?
Yeah, I'm going,
Yeah, I think we're gonna work on that, so.
Got a question. On the nuclear talk that's going on right now, how's that gonna affect our solar fields if they come in like a couple of years and put a couple minis out here? How's that, so they'll be able to produce just what they need pretty quick, you know, so.
Is that planned for where the coal plant currently is?
Pardon?
Is that planned for where the coal plant currently, where the merit station is?
Well, that's what, you know, the president's talking about going nuclear now, you know, a lot of this industry, you know, there's been talk. We was called last year from another country, told us there'd be two of them out here.
Yeah, I think, you know, coal generation is good. I mean, our power needs are increasing in the country, in the area, you know, electrical rates are going up. I think new generation, generally have to pay for upgrades to the system, we have to pay for upgrades to the system that we cause. So I think new generation is always generally a good thing. It may affect how our plant operates as far as dispatching energy, and when the transmission lines are open for dispatch. But those are things that we consider as we proceed to develop.
Anything else?
Okay.
Okay, Jerry, is that all you had to
That's
say?
all I have.
All right, thank you, Jerry. Terry, what do you have for
I
us?
think we've covered the stuff that I had on my plate, so
Okay,
I think we're good.
John, what do you have for us today?
Well, they're talking about another bridge closure on 54, right?
Correct.
Yeah. And the unofficial routes are, you know, we're having a lot of trouble on 48 when, excuse me, they, on the roads getting around, I mean, the semis, we hadn't been able to slow them down. And we've got significant damage out there, but this, off 54, the unofficial route's gonna be twice as hard. And I don't know, we need to come up with something to make them use the official route you know, stay off the back roads or, cause I don't know how we're gonna do it, but we're gonna have,
So
we
if
got a
you
lot
don't
of
have-
money.
if you don't have somebody there.
Right, but we got a lot of new
directing
roads
traffic,
that's
I don't know
gonna
how
be
you do it, yeah.
tore up and,
Yeah.
you know, it's completely off the
'Cause people-
unofficial route.
People move barriers, they run over barriers, yeah. And people
Steal
just
'em.
gonna take the route,
Stole
yeah. They
3 of
take
us
the route of
last
least
week.
resistance, yeah.
Do we have the unofficial route for that yet?
On the 54
On the
one?
54 project?
No, I met with NDOT, with John and I drove the 48 one and discussed with them that they've agreed. Of course, the one on 54 is only gonna be about 3 weeks closure. But they've agreed not to close that one until they get 48 on.
But my question is, can we not, because they do these stop signs, or these stoplights, portable stoplights, can we not put in language to make them use the stoplights there?
I don't think that we can force NDOT to do anything on their road. We can only request.
Can we highly suggest?
We can, yeah.
Strong letter to
Although,
follow.
like, for example, a 4-week closure, it's unlikely they're gonna, sometimes, you know, sometimes they can build a bridge half and half, sometimes they can't, they can have a runaround bridge, sometimes they can put up signals, but to them, it's all a cost benefit ratio. Is this project suitable to do that? For a 3-week closure, I'm guessing they would not do it.
Because I can tell you, there ain't no easy way to get around that
No,
There
bridge.
is
it's
no easy way, that's,
We got
Or-
water.
And then you're, it's right there at Busher Creek, Busher Run Creek.
and if there is a way to get around, see, the thing about these unofficial detour routes, they're not signed. We're not directing anybody to go anywhere. We're just choosing where do we think the traffic will go, and then DOT will agree to pay for any damage on that one specific route. So we're not putting up signs saying, use this road. The only detour route signs are what NDOT puts up, which involve state roads. But if local traffic or whoever decides to use whatever road they want to, then we pick the route we think they will use, no signage, just, NDOT just agrees to pay for damage on that route.
Because you're gonna run into the issue there at Dump Road and then coming down 50 and then back into town,
Gonna be
we're
horrible.
gonna have that
But if they
issue.
go the other way, if they're going south,
They're gonna have to run
they're
down
gonna
to my
funnel
district.
right down to your
Yeah.
newly paved roads.
Yeah. That's gonna
They're
be the
busting
issue.
up our newly paved roads
Yeah.
down there now,
So-
on the east, or the north end, so.
Yeah.
So a lot of times it's better to protect the roads that would be most expensive to fix. You know, maybe a lot of traffic is gonna use these gravel roads, but we're set up to work on gravel roads relatively cheaply. But if you damage a paved road, that's a much more expensive fix. So sometimes you want to pick where the damage that will cost the most to fix as your unofficial detour route versus whereas the majority of the regular traffic's gonna go. You know, so if they use Dump Road and 50, whatever, that wouldn't be great, but it's gravel roads, we can come in there and grade and throw a little rock on, whereas if they go down 350 east to 350 south, you know, we're gonna pay the portion of 350 east this year, 350 south we paid last year. If you get a lot of truck traffic coming from the east going south and they start using that route, destroy some brand new pavement, that's gonna be an expensive fix.
Well, they wouldn't be able to make the turns down there anyway.
Yeah, so that's some of the considerations.
That's what they tear up everybody's yard, to be a truck traffic all
And it
night
seemed to
long.
matter up my way when
Yard.
the semi turned over.
But you know, you can put up no truck signs, you can do whatever, but
Steal
They
them
still
back,
go
put them
that way.
up.
I've got a picture of a semi laying on a no truck sign.
But when you say detour route, I think it gives a false impression that we're directing traffic there. There's no signage directing traffic there. It's just the system NDOT is set up that they'll agree to pay the damage if the detour traffic does damage that road. But there's no signage directing people to those roads.
Most people won't take the gravel, they want the cars already.
Yeah.
And people are gonna take the path of least resistance too. I mean, it's just, it's just human nature.
But sometimes, for example, 48 closure, you have people coming east towards 41. You've got people going, half of them going north, half of them going south, half of them continuing west. they're taking multiple routes. Well, NDOT will not agree to repair the damage in multiple routes. They said, you pick your one route, and that's what we'll be responsible for. It's not a great system, but
Yeah, I
it's an
wish it was
NDOT
better.
system. We have to, right now, we have to live with it.
Yeah, last year when they did the route, one over on 63, we had a bunch of gravel roads around there because the unofficial route we had was a blacktop route for the most part, but everybody took every gravel road they could find and they just beat them up. Of course, last spring was a nasty spring
Yeah.
anyway, and it just, we spent a lot of time, but we didn't get anything extra for it. We just had to take it
But
on
we
the chin.
picked the route to protect ourselves in case the blacktop road was tore up.
Right, exactly.
And
that's-
then we could pay a contractor to come and fix it, and NDOT would reimburse us.
And that's all we can do. Yeah. Anything else, John?
Let the public, I mean, me and you've run out of road material in September in a couple of years, and the state's still cutting us every year. We got some major cuts coming this next year, so I don't know what, it's really putting us in a bad situation, but
Any thoughts on that? Going to the State House?
I'm gonna stay house next week to meet with Lieutenant Governor, but I don't know, just to see what, there's gotta be something done. I mean, tell you, everybody,
Yeah. Anything else, John?
that's it.
Brant?
Since I wasn't here last week, we've had a truck that's went down with electrical issues. We're having, this last snow really put a hurting on us. So we got a company trying to find where it's at. It's between the box and the back end of the bed. So hopefully we can figure that out. If not, I would like your guys' blessing to possibly look at purchasing a new truck. We have some mine money left over, and we'd like to, if the problem can't be fixed, we'd like to start our search on a new dump truck.
I would tell you, just, and John will probably say, start looking, because it's gonna be a while. before you
Few and
get it.
far
Then when you
between right
get-
now.
When you get prices, come back to us and say, hey, this
Yeah.
is what we're looking at.
I just wanted to, get your guys' blessing to, start searching.
Okay.
So, second thing, you guys approved Merrim opioid funds this last meeting.
Yes.
I was not here. However, my name was stated that I cut funds to Merrim from Mr. Scarborough.
You said you cut it in half.
You said that I cut it in
I
half?
cut it in half again.
I didn't cut anything in half.
You suggested we take, what, they wanted 25,000?
They wanted 25,000. The J-RAC board cut it to 12.5. I have documentation.
When did the
Brant,
J-RAC do it?
Brant Ford did not do that.
But you guys voted on that in the meeting.
Absolutely not.
We had some discussion in executive
I
session.
apologize.
Yeah.
So
Perfect. Yeah.
I don't like misinformation, especially when I am not here, spread about me, especially in the area that I represent.
Intent for harm, but I
Well, harm or not, it's still out there.
apologize.
So, and I appreciate that, and I just would like for you to do some research next time you start misinformation. I didn't appreciate it, especially when I'm 1,200 miles away and I listen to it. So, that's all I really have right now. This misinformation and stuff that's going on, we gotta start working together, guys. Plain and simple. It's not one person, we're all boards. Like I said, J-RAC cut it from 25 to 12.5.
I thought that.
Committee, now, I will tell you, I did oppose it. I did oppose the 12.5.
But
And the
we-
reason why I opposed the 12.5, because there was concerns with the application of the Mayor Conference Center.
Well, let me ask you this. If they cut it to 12.5, and we took it down to, the council took it half of that, right?
Pending paper documentation from Mayor
But what
Conference
did
Center.
you guys approve for last week, or last meeting?
The balance of that 12.5, because the 6250 was given to them, and
So
we
you guys
want,
only approved 6250.
that was what was finished up when
Okay.
and I asked to say, hey, because I've been asked by the members from Merrim, can we see about getting the rest of that money that was approved for us? I said, so that's what I brought out to ask questions about,
Okay.
so.
But
I just, apologize got it again. I
No,
thought
that's
that-
fine, but I want to clear it on record because it was on a public recording that I heard. JRAC board made the recommendations, they had concerns with the application, they cut it to 12.5. I went with their recommendations because I wanted clarity from the JRAC board, so I voted no for giving them the money. These other two commissioners approved it, we are a board, so it went through.
And with discussion, we
With
agreed.
discussion,
We
absolutely.
agreed to disagree.
Absolutely.
That's all right, yeah, and we were.
And went to the
fine with it,
council,
yeah.
then your board, which you voted to cut,
Yes.
the 62.50 or whatever it was. And then with pending documentation, because I was in that meeting as well, pending documentation from the Merriam Conference Center to provide that. So I want this on record that Brant Ford did not cut that money. I represent Merriam. I help Merriam. I think Merriam has a great thing going on over there.
Yeah.
So the misinformation has to stop.
Bob Thomas brought, the quarterly report on give to Amy, last week? So you guys should have copies someplace. Quarterly report of what went on, I guess that would be the last quarter of the year.
Okay.
I think it's September, October, November, December.
Which I haven't seen that yet. I don't.
I think she just got it.
Yes,
Okay.
and
No, that's fine.
They're all stamped and filed, Bob brought them last week.
Awesome.
Thank you.
And that's all we was waiting for is documentation,
I know.
so. And I know there was a lot of rumors going around that Brant Ford's cutting stuff. He's not.
So we can get that up to 250.
Yes. And that's what I told some of the public. They're like, why is Merriam Conference Center not getting the money?
Yep.
We need the documentation.
Now, Bob's already put an application in for, I think, 25,000 this next round. So
Okay.
I hope that, JAG, whoever that is, I hope they don't try to cut that.
Yep. Which, of course, we go off their recommendations.
And
Right.
Yeah.
we perform, the JRAC gets our quarterly reports too, so they can look at things, they can use that recommendations too, correct? Do we give them, should we give them?
We will give it to him. This is the first time you requested them.
Right, that's why I wanna
Yeah.
make sure we were
The
giving them.
cutoff was Friday.
Okay. Anything else, Matt?
No, just, community, please bear with us, but all county districts, gravel roads are terrible, we know. Freeze and thaw, you union workers know, when it comes to freeze and thaw, it's not good. We're working our best, we gotta have the conditions right to make the roads the best possible, so just please bear with us until we can get it. Community members, please bear with the county districts so we can get it. Appreciate your patience.
So we have opioid proposals brought in. Did you have anything else, Brent?
Oh, no, I'm good,
Okay.
I'm done.
So do we need to make a motion to accept those for review? Do we need any language on that, Terry?
So you have proposals now, is that what
We
you're?
have proposals.
But you're
yeah.
not voting on a recommendation of how to distribute it?
We just wanna know whether we need to accept them for recommendation or not.
I think that's fine, yeah.
Okay, can I have a motion to that effect?
Motion, go ahead and do it, yeah.
Okay, we got a motion to have a second?
I'll second the.
Okay, motion and second, all in favor? To accept the opioid proposals for review, review only. Okay.
Are we gonna set up a meeting or with the JRAC or?
We need to get them to the JRAC. Is anybody here from the JRAC committee? Jason, do you know when you set the meeting? I think it was upcoming pretty quickly, if I remember right.
I think it's Monday, the 9th.
That's what I was thinking, it was coming up. So we let them have it first, and then they'll make our recommendations, and it'll come back to us. And then we can look at them and make our final decision. I want to apologize to you, Brent. It's come to my attention, and it was just on my list of things to do. We went through it, our redevelopment appointment. I knew you were interested in it. I'm interested in it too. We brought it up. It was concerned that, and I want to clarify with Terry. Terry, when there's two people up here to vote on something, am I allowed to second a motion that affects me? I want to clarify that because we'll redo this vote today if we have to.
Yeah, I think that's a problem,
Okay, well, that's why I want to bring it up.
yeah.
Yeah, so, And I don't know what your work schedule's gonna let you do as far as meetings on redevelopment. So if, you know, if we wanna revisit this, if that is a concern for you, just wanted to bring it up to see what your thoughts were on it. I'm willing to redo this if we need to redo it.
I mean, I'm not involved in any conversations anyway, so I mean, it's not like, I mean, if you want me to be honest, these projects coming into my township, I haven't been involved in anything.
Well,
Conversation, phone calls, nothing.
Well, there's two and Bob's also, boy, so I mean, it's all of us that's involved in it, you know, but
Well,
Bob's in town all the time, and his schedule's a lot more open,
and
and
a
usually,
lot of those things that we're trying to go through the things, I'll never put anything up to a vote that you don't give a chance. I mean, you spoke your mind on that last, financial thing. It was a very small thing, but it was something to, I won't give you anything at the last minute to vote on that I haven't had a chance to give you information on. But a lot of these things, we're trying to work through all the other things first, and then we disseminate to the rest of them. And a lot of that, because of, and Deanne, if she was here to confirm that, they asked for the president of the redevelopment board, Ray, you can confirm that, and the president of the commissioners to talk with. Ray is the vice president, he has been in on some of these because his president wasn't available. Working through issues, and then we disseminate it to the rest of the boards as needed. So,
well, my whole issue with this whole redevelopment stuff is I got notified 2 days before this company was going to announce. No information was given to me. I had to find information out from the public that knew more than I did as the commissioner that represents the public.
which company was that, Brent?
This Heartland Industrial, whatever.
I got the same information the same time you did.
So, cause I spoke with Jerry about it, because I know you were in on the hold harmless or the road use agreements meeting, what, 2 weeks prior to them coming out?
The whole harmless,
For the Heartland Industries or whatever it is out there coming to,
yeah, there was a
Looking
phone
at-
call that I remember.
so, I mean, conversations 2 weeks prior, I mean, that's plenty enough time to call the commissioner of the district and say, hey, this is what's going on.
Right. And we are all commissioners throughout the whole county, even though we have our own districts too.
Absolutely.
Yes, so, and we can work together on it. So I want your opinion. Do you want to be on redevelopment again? If we are, I'll make a motion to that fact. If you don't, then let's go on, because they need a commissioner to be involved in the redevelopment.
I mean, I am still interested in it as I was on the board prior.
Can you make it to the meetings? That's my question with your work schedule.
I can make arrangements, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
But like you said, this is a board, and however the board votes.
I'll make a motion for Brent to be on that redevelopment committee if he wants to be on it.
clarify it there, and most, historically, when the president wants on something, you know, it's a courtesy for us to do that, that's another thing too, because of the influx of things he deals with, but we don't, as the president. And there is a lot of secrecy, what you say, companies do not want anything out there at all till they're getting ready to do something. I mean, we're dealing with people, you know, in redevelopment, and everybody knows that you can't tell us, maybe sometimes, you know, there are things, it's just companies, that's a requirement. So, it's not nothing against you or me or him, it's just the way they work. So,
John, I made a motion. What's your thoughts?
well, if you're good with it, I said, I made my motion because you was interested in it, and two of them's in your district, you know.
I know. And Brent wasn't here, and I apologize for that. It was just on my list of things to go through, and it came up and we did it. Brought to my attention after the fact, so I wanted to make sure we got it all clarified. I apologize to everybody that didn't like it. So that's why I
Well,
wanted,
how I see it is, John's the only one that's not interested in it. I think he should make the motion, and we'll go with that.
works for me,
We're a board.
works for me. Then I'll
Well,
rescind my motion then.
That is with my original motion, I'll make a motion with Bob to do it. Because
Got a motion, do I have a
I'll
second?
second that.
Okay, thank you, Brent. All in favor of that motion? Thank you, Brent. Glad we can work together on that.
Now, Terry, is there anything we can do, I don't know if there's any state statutes or anything that the board cannot do voting without having all three members present?
None that I'm aware of, I can check though.
Okay.
And there's sometimes, like last time, I mean, they'd probably be specific on what we can and can't. 'cause
That's what I'm
Business
saying,
still has to
yeah.
go
Like,
on.
If there's
Yeah.
a quorum, then they can move on.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
I'm saying, but
what
something
we
to
can and
that,
cannot vote on.
something to that nature that's gonna affect the whole county, I think we should have at least all three commissioners do the voting.
I mean, you guys could have an understanding among yourselves, obviously, you know, that that's the way you'll go forward, but I'm not aware of a statute to that effect, because usually it's just a quorum, so, but I'll check.
Okay.
And also, Terry, did you get a chance to look at anything on our contract with our current provider for IT and cybersecurity to find any breach in that? I know there was some concerns stated to me about some security issues on some computers here about, what, a month ago, Amy? Yeah.
I apologize, I don't remember seeing that. so-
Amy may not have, she
I
may
don't
not
remember. Do you
have told
remember
you
if you
about
sent it
that,
to
but,
I don't remember seeing it.
yeah. If you could get with Amy and talk
Okay.
about that, because I think we need to
Will you mail it to me? I'll
Yes.
take a look at it. Okay,
We
thank you.
need to address that because we've had trouble with them and things are getting worse and we need to take care of it. So, Brant, your oversight committee, have you thought any more about who you would like to be on that?
I'm reaching out to other counties that have oversight committees and trying to get an understanding.
Okay,
It might take a little bit to get that going, but I want kind of some information on, I know there's been some in Vigo County, there's been some in Knox County on these oversight committees. I kind of want to get some language put in for a committee
okay.
and, well, I'll think, I mean.
See what you want on your committee.
See what, yeah,
Okay.
and see what, how to pick and choose on how to,
And I'll tell you how, I was just at the Vigo County update this last week, and they talked about how they chose their oversight committee for the school. They asked for applications
okay,
for people that might be interested. One suggestion I'm gonna make is Jerry's been involved in all of these road use agreements, and that is part of the EDA. I would suggest that Jerry or our engineer, whoever's there, should be involved in this oversight committee. That's one suggestion I'm making.
yeah.
And then,
But I'm looking at how many people we need. Do we need 3? Do we need 5? Do we need 7? Do
You
we
know,
need
odd number,
1?
yes, yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. I'm trying to get all the ducks in the row to proceed forward with this,
Okay.
and it's just taking a little bit of time to do.
well, I knew you were working on it.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I am still working on it,
Okay.
and heck, it might not even be this year before we're done with it. That's the thing. It's just, you know, you're trying to make a new board, it's just hard to do, so.
And you gotta figure out who you want on the
Yeah,
board, too.
exactly.
Yeah.
So,
And that brings up a point, Jerry, where are we at on the first solar project as far as looking at roads that need to be repaired? Are they to a
They-
point where we can say, hey, we need to take care of these?
They requested, it's actually, it's the same, essentially the same company, different LLCs, but they requested to look at the roads about 6 weeks ago.
Okay,
And I told them, first of all, right now, some of the roads are probably still snow covered. We haven't went through all the freeze and thaw, and we're not at a place where we're ready to look at the final road conditions. So we told them we needed to get through this spring into stable weather, and then we could set up a meeting to go look at the roads and talk about the condition and what needed to be done to bring them back.
and make sure you include me in that, because I
Yeah.
wanna go up and look around too. So,
If I could. Brant,
Yeah.
when deciding how many people that you want on that committee, I know one of the things they looked at was trying to decide what kind of areas of expertise they needed on the committee.
Yeah,
and
that's what-
Deciding how many people, so like if you need a financial expert, you need a property redevelopment person, those kind of things.
somebody that has experience and
Right.
stuff like that,
So
yeah.
that might be something you would take a look at.
Yeah, absolutely.
okay. Anything else from anybody else?
Just in that same vein though, irrespective of the committee, I think we need a single person just in charge of, let's create a database. Here's what we got going on. Here's where we are in the process. Here's our EDA. Here's our road use agreement. Have they posted a bond when they're supposed to post a bond? I think we need a single person that has the time to just develop all that information, because that's the kind of information this committee's gonna want.
And another thing too, it needs to be somebody probably besides an elected official, because those can change every 4 years, and that continuation wouldn't be there.
But I mean, it's really more of a clerical
Right.
type thing. It's just somebody has to keep track.
Somebody's gotta keep track of all that stuff.
We got a company coming in maybe 2 weeks that, they just installed it in Owen County. And it tracks everything, I mean, everything, but then again, you gotta hire another person,
The thing is, we can be part-time though. We could hire them part-time
Yeah.
Good.
and make it
Just,
well,
there's a lot of data that
with
has
the
to be
council's
put in.
permission to,
Combine several other jobs.
I mean,
Yeah.
my suggestion would be, if we can hire a part-time person, it should be in maybe the redevelopment office, everything starts with them. Every development starts there. They lay out the timeline, this is what you need to do, these agreements you need to sign, you gotta start with this, you gotta start with economic development agreement.
And they'd have to work with the
It's just,
redevelopment. too,
somebody
yeah.
needs to track it clearly. Someone needs to be able to read the agreement, it says this is when the road use, this is when the bonds are posted, and to let you guys, me, the new committee, somebody just needs to clerically track it all to be able to provide that information, instead of, I'm trying to figure out if there's a bond. I go to redevelopment commission, I went to Amy, called you, I called Rick Hall. Somebody just needs to clerically track it all.
Right, okay. Anything else?
Like I said, that company that's coming in, they do all of it. And there, other commissioners over there, just, like I said, every load of
It's their
gravel.
administrative assistant, basically?
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, it will take care of all the problems on that end of it, I think, that program they have, so.
Okay. Anything else?
Nope.
Sheriff, I've got you down here on my agenda.
You emailed me yesterday, but I don't have an answer yet.
Okay.
It's on the kitchen hood, you all see that email from Corson? They're wanting me to pay $500 and some to put hinges on the kitchen hood so they can clean the.
And you're waiting on an answer from the architect, correct?
Yes, I don't know why they didn't do that, we've been there 2 years.
Well, and you've been in there for 2 years. I'm trying to figure out why Corson hasn't found it before now.
Yeah, they put it in.
Yeah.
So,
is it a new regulation that it just come out with, or do we know, or?
I'm waiting for an answer, I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I was gonna get your grace to fix it, but I don't wanna fix it until I can find out they bought everything.
Somebody else will fix it that should have fixed it in the first place. Yeah, let them do it.
They sold an 11-month wall.
Right, exactly. All right, thank you, Jason. Old business, insurance. Susan, or insurance committee.
Yeah, I got
Okay.
it. This year we went with, back with Anthem fully insured. There was really only one other one that was, maybe $2,000 lower in price, but they didn't have the lab services. Is that right, Susan? Correct on that? Closest place anybody could go get labs under this insurance was 50 miles,
At least,
so
it was the
we
best
didn't.
diagnostics, and we don't have.
So we can still go to our local hospital for no charge
I
for
believe
labs?
that's the way, right, Susan? Yeah.
As long as they're still lab form, they can go to Sullivan again with no problem.
No charge? Okay. Yeah, because that happened to me between last insurances. I got a $400 charge for lab work that, on my new insurance, they didn't charge me for, so.
Right.
Okay. All right, so that's your recommendation?
That's our recommendation.
Brant, you were on that committee. You have any comments at all?
Nope, I agree with that 100%, and I think that's gonna be the best case for all county employees.
Okay. Do I have a motion to that effect?
Um,
I'll make.
I was on the committee, I don't wanna make the
Okay,
motion.
all right. I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
Okay, got a motion and a second. All in favor? Okay, thank you very much. Susan, thank you for much your work, and the insurance committee too. Thank you for your work on that too. I have a question here about Heartland. Is there anybody here from Heartland Industrial Park? Okay, so evidently not. Deriva.
Good morning. Thanks for your time as always. We're here today to request approval for the whole harmless agreement. I think we've all been in in conversation about that. It's been updated accordingly with the copy that Terry presented. It includes all of the details of the roads and the limited scope of what's being permitted via that document. So it's just to provide the opportunity for us to do the site preparation work in advance of our full road use agreement being in place. Terry has a copy of the original, which was signed and notarized by Deriva. So we're kindly requesting that the commission vote to approve that and execute it so we can proceed with our site preparation work on schedule.
Any comments, concerns?
That one that was signed and given to you, have you reviewed that, Terry?
I've reviewed it.
Do you have any questions on it, or?
No, Bobby, it's, they've laid out all the roads, there's a map at the back. They've
Yeah.
posted, I think $3 million bond for those roads.
Yeah, because one of my concerns was the timing, giving the freeze and thaw, coming up with the work you want to do. You know, and Jerry and I had that discussion. I think we had that discussion too.
And they've laid out pretty clearly what they intend to do.
Okay.
And so the scope of what you do will be limited by what's in the agreement.
That's right.
And so, no, I don't have any issue with it.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'll clarify, we did actually add some extra roads in there, understanding that there's a sensitivity to road use in the county. And this will, in all honesty, we've already done our pre-construction inventory as part of the formal road use. So I'll say that when we do that post-construction inventory, that established state of being has already been captured. So any impacts to the roads as a result of this work that you would be effectively allowing us to do, any impacts to the roads as a result of that will be captured in that post-construction inventory as well.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but this hold harmless is not just for the geotech work, it is for the whole project, is that
No.
correct? Just for the geotech work
Well, it's for,
and the pre-construction.
So we already did our geotech work a couple of years ago. We had our hold harmless agreement in 2022.
This is our pre-construction work then?
Yeah, so
Okay.
this is preceding the site with vegetated ground cover and.
So we'll have another hold harmless to cover and road use agreement to cover more?
no, we shouldn't have another hold harmless agreement.
It should be a
Just the,
road
just
use.
in the road use agreement, okay. I just want to clarify out there, because if questions are asked, I want to make sure everybody knows.
So it's my understanding, it's for some advanced seating
Correct.
and some minor tree clearing
Correct,
activities.
yeah.
That's all this agreement covers, and it's protect the road, and they're not coming in there with anything but fairly small equipment anyway.
Okay. Any questions?
What area was that again?
The New Lebanon area.
The New Lebanon? And then you mentioned a name change. Can you tell me what the name change was before?
The name is formerly Turtle Creek Solar.
Okay,
The new name is Sullivan County Power.
thank you.
Still the same parent company though.
Correct, still Deriva Energy Solar, that's right.
Any other questions or concerns?
And we talked about parking semis on the side of the road. Have we got to an agreement with that of not doing that due to
Yeah,
buses
absolutely.
and stuff like that?
So, we'll definitely get you in touch with the crews that are gonna be on site. We can certainly coordinate, right? We have full access to the private properties that the clearing and work is being conducted on, so we'll make sure.
That's my only request, because I don't want kids getting out of school and buses meet these semis and they get off in the ditch or something. It's soft.
Absolutely.
And I don't want that issue down there, especially down in New Lebanon area and stuff like that.
Those
So
ditches
that was
can be-
my only concern, was these semis bringing all this equipment in. I know you're protecting the roads, I understand that, but now we gotta think more public safety. And
Absolutely.
the children on the buses and stuff, because we have a lot of kids out there that ride buses.
Mhm.
So,
Safety first.
yeah, and those roads out there ain't wide enough really to pass two cars, let alone a semi and a bus.
Absolutely.
So, that was my only concern right there.
Yeah, and we can certainly figure that out, put you in touch with our crews that are in the field. as well.
Appreciate
They're-
that.
They're well versed in those.
Thank you.
Anything else? Do we have a motion on this?
How many acres is that going to involve?
So our project will wind up involving a total of around 1,800 acres, once it's all said and done.
Thank you.
And I spoke with you guys at the council meeting, so you've already selected your contractors for the project, is that correct?
Our general engineering, procurement, and construction contractor has been selected, but not our subcontractors.
Not your contractor.
So for things such as like drain tile mowing, sanitary, fuel, those sorts of like equipment contractors and employment has not been done. So we just
just have our general EPC.
Is your intent to use the trade agreement?
So our intent is we're gonna we're gonna follow the EDA agreement. I think, Joe, we've spoken about this, and, we're gonna use local labor, prevailing wage, we have apprenticeship requirements, so we're still, our EPC group will work with the local, labor folks to figure all that stuff out.
And if you really need to get some clarification on that, I think the Invenergy crew has done a video, is it on YouTube, I think, have you guys seen it? Been told about it, about how well that tri-trade agreement worked in their process, so, and it's, you know, if you talk to the guys in the trades that are here, you know, they're happy with the way it works too, so it's something to consider, because there's a group of guys that's already figured out how to do it, there's no sense reinventing the wheel, so.
And I think just on the.
Make those inquiries and look at that.
Certainly.
Yep. I was just gonna add, you know, we've talked with our contractor about the labor staffing solution, and so they're gonna be holding a local job fair in the coming weeks. So we don't have a schedule on the calendar yet, but that'll be coming up as well, in addition to some of the opportunities or some of the other kind of wraparound services that Patrick mentioned, which we're looking for recommendations for local contractors that could help meet some of those services. So again, you know, your mowing, your tile, your sanitary services, fuel, those types of things. So if anybody is in here and wants to grab me and Patrick, we'll probably be in the rotunda.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, Buzzy and Bry and whoever else, yeah, if you're gonna grab these guys after the meeting and talk to them.
Information to our contractor, and they have to go through all of the requirements and make sure everything is, they can meet the volumes that they need, but we're certainly looking to pass along as much information and make sure we're maximizing that.
And a lot of those things that you talked about too, there are local businesses that can provide, you know, the fuel and the tiling and stuff like that too.
Right.
So.
Yeah, Brian provided me a couple contacts, on the phone last week, so forwarded those along, but we're gonna try and collect. The larger the pool that we can provide contact information for, the more likely that those services could be used, right? So they'll be evaluated based on other comparable
And
opportunities.
the happier the citizens of Sullivan County will be when you're using local business too.
Absolutely, that's right.
Because you guys, as you'll find out from the other organizations that have had, you guys will be a target in that area. And everything that happens, good or bad, is a fault of the solar farm.
Yep.
So just remember, try to make as much, try to curry as much
Favors.
Sullivan County favor as you can.
Absolutely.
That's the discussion we had, didn't we?
Yep, exactly.
Well, I think Patrick and I have had this discussion once before anyway.
It all falls back on the companies.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way.
Absolutely.
Anything
We
else?
appreciate your consideration for the hold harmless. We look forward to continuing the EDA, road use, TCOM talks. I think we're getting to a really good place with those. Terry, thank you for your time and
Sure.
emails back and forth as well. I think we're getting really close to having all this, sorted out.
Okay. Anything else from you guys?
No, I think we'll just request that you make a motion to vote on it, and, that'll be it for us.
Okay. I'll entertain a motion somewhere there.
I'll make a motion that, I think it's only one signature, but I'll make a motion that Bob signs this hold harmless agreement.
Okay. Got a motion, I got a second? All in favor? Okay.
Wonderful.
Is
Thank you very much.
Is that the copy to sign?
Oh, no, it's good.
That's the one that I handed you, that's the one
Oh,
they
okay.
brought
That's
in.
what I want to double check.
Yeah, that's
Make
the
sure I'm
one.
signing the
There's a lot
right
of
one.
signatures on that.
I brought a copy too, but I think that's the one.
Okay. Any other old business as you came in this morning? You're on new business.
Groundhoggers, was in danger of not being able to hold the Easter egg hunt. I know I had approached you guys before about having an Easter egg hunt on the courthouse lawn like we always have. And that has changed. We have a couple of organizations that have stepped up and said, we wanna help with the cost of that. So is it okay then to go ahead and have the Easter egg hunt? It's April the 4th. And then,
conversation on this Easter egg hunt? I'd make a motion to let us do this Easter egg hunt, if you guys are good with it. Okay, John, motion and second, all in favor? Okay, yes, knock yourselves out, okay? And we'll look at the other financial part.
I appreciate
I
it.
don't know that we can, but we'll see if we can help you find something.
Thank you.
Okay.
I appreciate that very much. You guys have always been very helpful with that, so
Right.
thanks.
Any other old business as you came in this morning? Okay, if not, we'll go on to new business. Janet Baker. Yes.
My name is Janet Baker. I work for, I work for Firefly Children and Family Alliance, and we cover services in Sullivan County. We're a prevention program that works with families and children under 18 years old, providing services to help them meet needs. April is Prevention Child Abuse Month, national, and I'm here to request that our Prevent Child Abuse banner be displayed on the courthouse lawn again with the pinwheels placed right at the banner site.
Are you gonna put pinwheels up and down the sidewalks like you have in the past?
It depends on if you want us to do that or not. Sometimes maintenance doesn't like that because it gets in the way of their,
Because they're just about starting to mow about that time I get there.
Yeah,
so.
exactly, yeah.
Storms blow them everywhere.
Huh?
So then like then the storms come through and blow them everywhere and
Yeah.
break them and.
Well, maybe if we could just think about putting them on the east entrance, maybe, just one side, if that's the, because the more that you see, the more people are aware.
Sure.
And that's what I think, because you
Sure,
guys
we
have
can
done that
roll them out.
several years,
Yep.
so. You guys, discussion on that?
I think it's fine.
Okay. Motion?
I'll make a motion.
Okay, second, motion second, all in favor? Yeah.
Thank you.
Knock yourselves out.
Thank you.
Thank you. Copia, is anybody here from Copia this morning? Okay.
Shocking.
Civic Plus, Ross Wells, I thought I saw Ross walk in. Yes.
So I believe you've got two proposals in front of the commissioners today. One, it covers the entire redesign of the
No,
county's
we haven't done that because we've got other ones we're working with. So
Okay.
we've got proposals, but we're working with other people too, Ross, so we haven't shared anything yet until we get all of them.
We have to have 3.
Yeah, yeah, we've got another meeting coming up.
Okay,
So,
great.
yeah, but
Well,
explain what you do and what you've given us proposals for.
So Civic Plus is pertains to the Sullivan County project. We fully redesigned the county's website, make it, highly ADA compliant. I believe a part of that project was bringing the entire site up to WCAG 2.2 compliance. I'm not sure how much of you are aware of the Department of Justice ruling. April of 2027, all communities need to be compliant with the DOJ recommendations, which is WCAG 2.2. High level, essentially, the mentality that comes with making a building ADA compliant, which is this ramp right here, that now extends to a community's digital footprint. So more times than not, that's going to be the website. So some of the features I think we talked about, ability to notify residents of meeting changes, the ability to display banners on the homepage. For instance, when we have road closures or things like that, that can be accurately and immediately displayed and routed to the residents. So they're kept informed and everything is transparent.
And explain to the crowd why you came to Sullivan County.
I came to Sullivan County to kind of talk about this project and offer, to answer any questions that may come up.
Well, and because our current website provider is closing down.
Yeah, so Core, eGov, they are discontinuing their website services, so they're sunsetting that, and the life is end of this year. So from a project standpoint, depending on what you can go with, you can bank on about 6 to 8 months to implement that. So working backwards, that's kind of where we need to go live.
And Amy and I are set to meet with 2 other ones next week, so
Yeah.
we want to see what,
Today and tomorrow.
today and tomorrow. So if we get,
Get it done.
we'll get all these proposals, we can sit and look at them together. I appreciate the work and the time that you spent on this too, Ross, but don't count yourself out yet.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I'm local-ish from Indianapolis, so happy to make the trip out here.
Okay.
As the ADA coordinator by default, we have had a request from individual who happens to be blind to modify our website, and I assume this will all cover any issues that they would have.
Yeah, so when we think of visual impairment, the big thing is gonna be screen readers, right? So the site needs to be logically laid out, color contrast need to be taken into consideration. And Jerry, I will, say PDF compliance, PDF documents, local government's been PDF heavy since the PDF was invented. That's something that needs to be taken into consideration. So it needs to be a clean PDF, OCR PDF. Can't be a scanned PDF, that will not be able to be read on there. So I would, as you're going through this process, or as we call it, a journey, let's kind of take into consideration how many PDFs we have and what needs to be prominently displayed on the site, and then double check those to make sure. And I'm happy to talk one-on-one with you on that one.
And I did bring it up in our conversations too, probably come talking to the same citizen,
Yeah, yeah.
but just wanna make sure.
I will caution that, you know, just because there's an overlay on the site, doesn't mean that there's anything happening on the back end. So as you're talking with other companies, just keep that in the back of your head and make sure that you are getting what you need.
Okay. All right. Any other questions from Mr. Wells? Okay. Thank you for coming down today.
Absolutely.
Kat Walker from the Art Gallery. Good morning.
I have two issues. The first one is a complaint, so I'll deal with that first. And I'd like to thank Jerry again for asphalting Railroad Street because it has been 100% better. And the reason I mention that street is because that's where there is a dump site. There's half a truck in this site. There's a trailer with concrete blocks and a lot of other garbage. And my understanding is the owner doesn't even live in Indiana. And why would we let somebody do that, dump their trash in Sullivan County when he doesn't even live here? And biggest problem is that other people are thinking it's their own personal dump site and it's getting worse. It's spreading. So I don't know if there's any coding we can do, if there's anything we can do about this whole situation, but it ticks me off.
Can you tell me exactly where it's at, Kat?
I'm sorry.
Can you tell me exactly where it's
It's
at?
about halfway on Railroad Street.
Which town?
Halfway between,
That's out here by Depot Town.
Oh.
Okay, on the north-south road there, I know where you're talking about
Yeah.
now. Okay, I just wanna make sure we were talking about the same place. Okay.
yeah. Anyway, I don't, like I said, I don't know if there's anything we can do, but it just is terrible. And we have a lot of our campers, now that they have a nice road to come up, they come up that way. Well, you know, what kind of site is that for people coming into Sullivan? Doesn't make us look good.
Okay.
So, anyway.
Okay.
My other comment is just a fluff thing. Where did you say you were doing the pinwheels and stuff?
Oh, I'm sorry.
I mean, when?
We don't have a date yet, we'll be setting a date.
Okay. Well, the Art Guild would like to do a project on, as everybody knows, America 250 is a big deal this year. So we would like to see if we can get that many flags in the courthouse lawn. And I talked to Brad about it, and he says he's okay with it if we don't do it over 3 or 4 days because of the
Mowing around, yes.
And so all I need is a yes or no from you guys if you think that would be it. We would have people put their names on their flag so they can come back and get their flag.
What,
We'd love to fill it.
what time period are you talking about doing this, around the
Well,
4th?
July 4th.
Okay.
Yeah, I would probably begin it 2 days before, and then the day after we would take them down.
Okay, and you might coordinate with Brad on his mowing schedule too?
I can do that.
Yeah, so any thoughts on that, guys?
I'm okay with it. I'll make a motion to go ahead and let him do that, yeah.
Okay. John's made a motion, do I have a second? We have a second, all in favor? Okay, so yeah, we'll give you permission for 3 days there on the courthouse lawn, and coordinate with Brad on the mowing schedule.
Okay.
All righty?
Works for me.
Thank you,
very
Kat.
much.
Recovery Cafe.
My name is Crystalyn Kendall. I'm here representing Adams House of Hope and Recovery Cafe, and this is our official proposal for a lease agreement between Adams House of Hope and the county for the jail. So you guys take a minute to look this over. Terry, if there are things that we need to discuss, legalities, we would mind having a private meeting with you. I know that I submitted a lease and there were some concerns. and also an appraisal. So I reached out to a realtor friend of mine, over the weekend, and she said she would send me a list of realtors, but none of them would do an appraisal on a building that was not for sale. And she said normally when you go to sell a property or a building, the bank will assign an appraiser, and so that's why we've been unable to find somebody to appraise the building.
Cause I've done that, I've had run that same brick wall. Can't find somebody to appraise it.
Are running out of options as far as funding goes because we don't have a building. We're missing out on 2 six-figure grant opportunities right now. So if we don't get a definitive answer today, that's fine, but we're gonna try to proceed in other directions, within the coming months if we don't start.
And there was
We're
also-
looking for different properties, different building options.
There was also a grant that we talked about some time back that would help you get the building
Yes.
too.
Yep.
But you have to have the ability to get it. And that's one of the, Terry and I've had several conversations, you and I've had several conversations, trying to see what we can propose to the commissioners, but we can't get anybody to give us any kind of appraisals. That's, if anybody's got any help that can tell me who to get a hold of for appraisals, I'm more than willing to listen to them, yes.
I used to be a realtor and have my own agency. There's an option called a broker's price option. It's a BPO. It's not as legally binding as an actual appraiser, but you can have a realtor do that at a minimal cost. And then if the price amount matches somewhere where you think it should be, does that make sense? Then you can decide to make a decision to actually have a bank appraiser. Because you're looking at a difference between a couple $100 to a couple $1,000 for an appraisal.
Right.
But it's called, banks use BPOs when they're gonna come out and like, the potential, like to repossess a property. Insurance agencies will do that before they, will decide to do like a payout when a house has been totaled. That's when they use a BPO. So they, there's an actual software that they have to do, and there's some, it's very detailed.
And that's through a realtor or an appraiser?
You can get those through realtors.
Okay.
But does that apply to commercial properties, because there's even appraisers, residential appraisers can't do, you have to have a higher license. Can a broker do a commercial?
You would just have to ask the broker to see if they have the skill to do that.
Because I was under the impression the broker couldn't do commercial properties,
Right.
but maybe they can.
Yeah, just ask them, that's like an industry, there's terms that, lawyers use, terms that, builders use, this is called a BPO. And, I did several of those in the community after the storm, and then that way, insurance and everything, it's kind of like a backup, and then that way you can just kind of compare numbers. And then you want to put in there that it's not including a business, and that's the thing is when you're asking to do a business building, it gets convoluted there because they're thinking, the business operation, you're just gonna say you just want the building itself.
And the worst part about that building is it's a specific use building. It's, it's targeted towards specific use, and it's hard to, every realtor, or every appraisal that I've talked to either says, yeah, I'll get back with you whether I wanna do that or not, or don't get back with me at all.
Yeah, but you can call a couple of banks and ask them what they use for BPOs.
Okay.
They'll have a list of things, there's like it's kind of like a ticket, you go in and you order BPOs through them.
Okay.
This is a little different though, because we have a statute that requires that we have appraisals.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's a little different in this instance. Up in Vigo County, they just had 2 appraisals done for a lease agreement. I'll get you those 2 names of appraisers that did those and see if they would
Please
be
do.
willing to look at this.
Please do, yes, and tell them to get a hold of me so that we can.
Bobby, you having no luck with Larry Bonner?
I've talked to him, I've talked to several of them, and I don't remember, it's been several months since I've talked to anybody, and I don't remember if he's the one that says, I will get back with you, or if he's the one that never even replied to my call. Because some of the same ones that I used to do the last couple of appraisals we used, I called them back again. Yeah. So,
I do have a question. Is there a reason why the building can't just be given to them for $1? Are we under that, can we do that technically so we're not under we're paying insurance and utilities?
and that's a good question, Stephanie, because Crystal and Sarah and I have talked about that. One of the concerns, I would love to be able to do that because it would get off our hands. Them just coming into this new operation, if we would give it to them for $1 and 3 or 4 years down the line, something happens and their funding runs out, and they're gonna be saddled with a building. And then it's gonna become something that we can't do anything with. So that's one of the reasons we talked about possibly a lease, to see how things go for them.
Yeah, we
Then
have,
they take over the utilities and all the upkeep and everything. So we're still trying to figure out some things.
yeah, in our lease agreement, the one that I proposed, we had said we would do 3 years at $1,000 a year, and then at the end of the 3 years, if our funding was stable and we were running like we should be, we would have an option to buy. And then if not, we would have an option to extend the lease.
So I wrote a letter of recommendation for them. I've talked to a few people that use the Recovery Cafe, and I'm for us being able to help them out if we can.
Appreciate that, Stephanie.
Just FYI, if there's any way possible, we can work something out with them.
Okay.
Here's the 2 appraisers that did that for Vigo County.
Okay, and I know I've talked to one. I haven't talked to this
The
other.
second one's with Newland Johnson.
Okay.
Those are the 2.
Okay. If I've talked to Larry before, I don't know if I've talked to Greg or not. Okay. Mitchell.
On this issue, if you're having a hard time trying to figure out what it's really worth, the best way to find out what something's worth is put up for sale. I mean, I know that you've got a buyer for it, that would be willing to pay a lot more than $1,000 a month. And if you wanna find out what, and then you don't even have to take the bid. You put it up for auction it off, you get a bid of X, and you say that's not enough, then you don't have to sell it. But at the same time, you've got some kind of an indication of what the value of that property is. But I know that you've got at least 2 people in this county that would like to buy it.
I've shown it to several people, but nobody's ever gotten back to me with any kind of an offer. Yeah.
Nobody's gonna give you an offer because they don't know what it's worth either.
I don't either.
I don't think anybody does. But if you
I don't know what to tell us.
But if you put it up for auction, you're gonna find out.
Is it worth $100,000? Is it worth $1 million?
But then you're gonna know.
Yeah.
Then so that happens, it's costing the county how much a year in sitting empty for utilities?
About 40 or 50? Do you remember exactly?
It's close to 50.
That's what I was thinking, yeah. And we've turned everything, well, that was the first year. We've turned everything down where they're minimal utilities now. So it should be a lot better this year than it was last year, yeah.
It's around 50.
Yeah. So, but it's still,
But I'm just saying, I understand it's hard to get an appraisal, but if you wanna find out what's worth, put a for sale sign up on it for 30 days, have an auction and see. And then if you get no offers, then it's pretty easy for the public. Nobody in the public could complain about whatever you do with it because you didn't get any offers.
okay.
But if you get an offer of $500,000, it's pretty hard to do something else. I'm just saying that would take the pressure off of you as a board and off of the county in general in terms of knowing what's the right thing to do.
Right, and that's a suggestion that I had never thought about, Mitchell, because I'm being told I need to get appraisals because we want to sell, get appraisals.
And I'm saying now,
Yeah.
if you can't get an appraisal, then let the buyer's gonna have to worry about getting an appraisal, get enough money to borrow, or unless they've got the cash to pay for it.
Right.
Then let that be their problem.
And Terry, is that gonna be an issue with us if we get an offer like that, if we don't have an appraisal?
Yeah.
It will still be an issue?
Yes.
Okay, okay. I mean, we can stick a for sale sign out there if you guys want
Can't
to.
sell
It's
it
your
at
lease.
least for less than the average of 2 appraisals, is what the law says.
Okay. So that's been my roadblock all along.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. We'll keep working. How's that? And if anybody's got any suggestions?
Bob, you should be able to look back in your jail stuff and see if there's not 2 companies that gave you an appraisal on the old jail. They might.
From when we had jail studies done, you mean?
Well, for the financial end of it, it had to be, the old jail had to be appraised.
Okay.
I don't remember the name of the company, but I'm pretty sure you had.
Do you remember, Jason, because you were chief deputy over there at the time?
I don't remember any appraisals from the old days.
Okay. Wonder if, assessor's office would have anything like that? I mean, do you know if you've got anything like that up there?
I'll have to look and see.
Okay.
Did we have appraisals for the new jail?
I don't think we've had any appraisals for the new jail. We just told us we knew what it costed. But we may have had an appraisal on the old jail in the process of doing new jail. Is that what you're saying, Ray? Yeah.
But the question is, would those appraisals be valid for now?
No, but I think what he's saying, we could try to
can't
contact
get
them
a-
and see if they would do a current
I
one.
could get somebody, because that's been the
Right.
problem. And I've contacted our jail architect and saying, hey, who can I, and not heard anything from them either. Yeah, so it's not that I've been sitting on my thumbs. I've been trying to figure out something, because Crystal is very persistent, and I give her credit for that. She wants something to happen here, and I'd like to see something happen. So, yeah, she's wanting to help people.
People dying
Yeah,
and
exactly.
living on the streets, and like it's a huge concern for our entire county, not just the people in the front lines working the hard jobs. I mean, I see Brittany back there, you know, she knows that's a need in our county.
We are sending people to other states for treatment right now.
We just sent a guy to Arkansas because there's just nothing here for them.
And also housing is a huge barrier right now for people who are coming, like working a recovery program, coming out of a sober living facility, can't find somewhere to live. The transitional housing piece is something that we is very important. Not building it right.
Something I talked to Amy and Stephanie both about the other day is there any properties, we'll have to wait till the tax sale. But if there's any tax sale properties that are in the sale that come back to the commissioners, if there's anything there that might, if this jail thing doesn't work, that we might be able to get them a piece of property to help them get started on something for a location. Because the money's there if they have a location in a building, but they don't have anything owned under Adams Hope of Recovery, House of Hope. Yeah. So,
The deadlines for a lot of these grants are usually
And then it'll come around again, but yeah, it's a year-long process.
any other new business as you came in this morning?
I got one more question. Jason, is the old jail still in idle, or has it been completely shut down?
We've been out of it almost 2 years. I've not, I don't know.
John, I can answer that question. It's in idle because I've been,
Okay.
yes, I've been working with, the guy from, Eric from Shekel.
Yeah.
Him and I go in there about twice a year and check on things to make sure everything's, and I walk through there every now and then just to make sure nothing's going on, because we did walk through one day and a water.
Would
fountain's
there
on.
be, interest in leasing that as another correctional facility?
It's
I've been
possible.
holding it
I
in
still
there.
have to get an appraisal.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a possibility, so.
Are we done?
If you got, unless you got.
I got one more thing. All you people that's got elderly parents or grandparents right now, we're being hit hard by these foreign entities that's sucking out money from elderly people. Just here in the last couple of weeks here, we got, a guy had got about $70,000 out of his account. Another one about $30,000. I said, with the guy's father's 87 years old, but he's still competent. He walked in there and he was packaged up a $5,000 shipment. So, I mean, they're really hitting hard in this area. And that one facility that's in North Africa, they say they take out $2 billion a year out of America. By doing that, that's from the elderly people, so. But they are concentrating in this Wabash Valley right now, so you might keep track of your parents and grandparents.
Thank you for that, John, I appreciate that. Anything else from anybody today? If not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
All right, thank you, everybody, appreciate your attentiveness today.
I gotta lease this on.